Plastic model builders, welcome back to some more model making madness. This is part 3 of the B-29 bomber. As you can see, we painted some good stuff. We put some good stuff together in this cockpit, then we put the cockpit into the plane as well as in the back. Now we get to have some more fun doing the rest of the interior of this plane. So we've got some bubble windows here that we're cutting out. You got 2 of those. There's one on each side of the airplane. You got to scrape away a little bit of the paint, of course. Make sure you do that. So we're gonna have some fun with this video. Watch all of it because I don't want you to miss anything, because there's some weird stuff about this plane. So there you go. You see we're putting in one of those windows. We're going to put on the other side. Remember, turn these upside down. That way when you let them dry, the bubble isn't pressing in on anything. So here we've got a gun sight that we're going to paint. It goes black, lovely color, like all the gun sights in this plane, they all went black. So just get it good. You don't have to paint the little knobs there. Remember, this is going to go on the inside. You're not going to see all of it, so it doesn't have to be pretty. Although we want to make things look pretty unless you do a cutout version of the plane, which, hey, maybe you want to do that. So here we are cutting this out. Like I said, pay attention because you can't put regular cutters in there because it's a small little area. Only the hobby knife will work. So you got to go back once you get it cut out, and you'll have to put the gun sight right there, and then I come back later and I just touch it up a little bit with some black paint. So here's the other one, and that's what it looks like from the inside. And there I just got a little paint on the toothpick. I didn't feel like cleaning off a brush, so I got this all masked off. This is going to go in aluminum color. This is the inside of the bomb bay area. You see where the wings will go. Painting that aluminum right here, getting this. This is the other half of that piece of the fuselage right there. So make it look pretty. We always want to say that, don't we? Of course we do. So here we go. That looks pretty. Some more little parts that are going silver. There's a lot of silver parts. Remember, there were also a lot of green parts. So this is the doors and all that stuff for the bays. You have your landing gear doors and all that sorts of stuff. Cut those from the sprues. Just easier to do it this way. However you want to spray them, I don't care. Just get it done. More aluminum color right there. Make sure you just do only the back side, because the insides, they all go chromate green, like everything did in this entire plane on the interior. Everything in the interior is chromate green. So we're getting that door there. And I believe there were 4 bomb doors for this plane and like a zillion different landing gear. So that's front landing gear right there, as you can see. Going to paint those aluminum as well because that is the color of the plane. Do it however you want. If you want to make it a shiny color, go ahead and do that. Right there, this is for the back rear wheel wells, as well as some of these pieces. That's the landing gear right there. We're going to do the front, back. I should say front, back, and back, even though there's only one back, but you know how that goes. So more doors and more landing gear right there. Probably should have gotten you a little bit better shot, but you could see. So I had to hold it down. Some of those parts went silver, some went gray, or I'm sorry, some went green. It all depended. I wasn't exactly sure. So just make sure you read the directions because you want to make it look good. So there we go. We're painting that. That's the back right there. This one's the front. As you can tell, it looks a little bit different than all the other ones. There's the inside of a door. Don't know why I'm painting that. Maybe that's the color it went, but there's the outside. Probably just a little mess up on my part. We'll see later. So holding it down right here because that's just the way I decided to do it. So here we have this right here. Still painting some more. Like I said, lots of little pieces here that, you know, you just have to pay attention. That's the back. When we go to install that in a later part, you'll see how to do that. So these are the bombs that we assembled. If you don't remember, we let them dry. So now we're sanding them down. We're going to make these look pretty because that's what we do. And I am using just the end of a paintbrush here to hold these in so I can just turn them. I got a little creative. Yes, there is a total of 12 of these. There is 6 per side. So, and then 6 per bay door also. So just remember that, and then you have to get the insides of that with the way I did that. Paint the little tip here silver, steel, whatever color you want. I had a little bit of the paint come off here, so probably didn't let it dry good enough. That's okay, you could just touch it up. And there we see the inside, how pretty that looked with the fuselage right there and the cockpit. Models coming together, more paint chip away in the exact same spot, just on the opposite side. So I'm going along with the knife here. I'm cutting, or not cutting, but you know, scraping away the paint because we got to put this thing in. And there's 2 of these. So just a little test fit. You can see I've got one in there. We're going to glue this in. That's probably already glued in that other one. Sorry I didn't show it. You know how that goes. So putting a little glue on that. And we'll just put this in place, and boom, there we go. I don't think I even glued in the other half because I wasn't concerned with it. I put that piece of the fuselage down, that way those halves, they line up perfectly inside, and you just let that sit for a while. So this is kind of an odd technique here. Since I used some acrylic paint, I just have acrylic thinner on there, and I'm putting a little bit of thinner on there, and then I'm using a cotton swab to just swipe it right off. Be careful because that can eat the paint though, so you just have to be careful. These are where the bombs will hang. Now keep in mind you can put the bombs in later or first, it all depends. I put my bombs in first, but maybe I would have done it differently. So we're putting the glue on this, that way we can put these doors in. As you can tell, it's going to be a tight fit. You kind of got to bend that piece and snap it in place right there, then line it up with the very edge. And here's the other one. Figure I'll show you this as well, getting all the paint off of those little nubs right there. And this is me scraping, just showing you kind of where it goes, putting more glue all along the whole entire edge there. Some areas it doesn't go and some it does, and just two little spots right there and some right there. And we're going to put this in, and voila. So that's how that goes. And we're kind of getting down to nitty gritty. Scrape away some of the paint for these in with super glue. Do it however you want. It might be better if you put in the top two on each side and then save the bottom ones for dead last after this plane is just about done, because my fingers tended to hit those and I probably popped each one of those off at least 2 or 3 times, even with the super glue, because there's not a lot of things to grip onto. I'm sure some of y'all have better ways of doing it, but so that's what it looks like completed right there. Got this rear door right here. It's another hatch that goes all the way through. Going to put some bedding on this, how that goes. And here again, I'm just kind of using that paint cleaner, paint remover, just to get that off right there. Put some glue on this, put this little guy in right there, and we're going to put the other side on, fit him in. Perfect. Hey, congratulations, halfway through this video. I know you love sticking by me for most of them. So put that top half on as usual. Paint this gun sight right here. This is going to be the back gunner's chair. Isn't that exciting? So here you go. This is also going to go on the inside of one of those little glass bubbles. Right here, this goes in the front of the cockpit because I think I forgot to put it in there. Or wherever it goes, I don't remember. But we're going to get it in there. So these are the rear windows. We're going to ship these out. This is the support for the wings, and it goes right through the middle of the plane. We'll show you that in the next video, of course, so stick back for that one. Here you got your cockpits, kind of just doing some pre-work here, getting things cut out. That way you can let glue dry and work on other things. Now you see that says front. That means it goes a specific direction when you put this together. So here's that gun sight. We're mounting this to the chair, and here is another little piece right here that goes right to the front. We will secure that just like so. And that goes right there in the plane. As you can see, a little test fit. Put this on, see where it says front. You want to make sure you know which one goes to the front and which one goes to the back. And you see we have those little circles right there. Those will have to get cut off or sanded down. That way you can put these through the wings. So there you go. See me cutting those off, and they'll also get sanded down. Whatever you want to do it. It's your plane. That's the easiest way. Remember, doing test fits is a good way to know for sure. So here we're putting this in right there. Got that little piece. Looks pretty, doesn't it? This is the rear little glass piece, and you'll see that. Actually, I'm sorry, that's the gun sight for the front windshield. So, scraping more paint away right there, same technique. We are going to put down this little cockpit piece, but not before we put the windows in. So, put those in. I use a little plastic cement. Be careful, because that can fog glass if you don't have enough air circulating in there. Mine didn't fog. Here we go. Put some plastic cement down there. Put this little piece in, and of course, we are going to do this. This was tricky. Put a little bit of glue there, held that in place, then glue on that side. Put this in the little slot there. Kind of formed it together, held it for a second. There we go. Put the top on. That way everything stays in place. As you can see, that's what it looks like. You might have to adjust that a little bit. So now we have the tail fins right here. Going to cut each one of those out. 1, 2, 3, and 4, of course. These are the wheel wells. 2 of those for each side. Here are the wings. Going to do 2 of each wing, so there's 4 halves in total. Was it 2 halves? I get confused on numbers. It doesn't matter. So either way, chop all those off. Click, click, click. This is the wing half, not the wing half, the back tail pieces right here. Going to put those together. Remember, there's 2 of those for each side. Go right down the middle. Place that together. Just press it firmly. You know, let that glue sit. Let me guess. I use too much glue. Of course I do, because that's what I always do. You won't be seeing this glue much longer because I'm switching brands. Not brands, but you know, trying some new stuff on the next plane. The B-1B Lancer. Ooh, did I say that out loud? Because I did. The B-1B Lancer. It's coming soon, so you know you definitely going to want to watch that. We're putting in this rear wheel well right here into this part of the plane, and put in the other one. We're going to let that dry for just a little bit. We're getting close to being finished with this, so if you have watched all of it, thank you for sticking by me. I appreciate it. Oh, this is a fun piece right here. This is the back, so I'm kind of marking that line. You have to cut this. I know you'll do a lot better job than I did, so completely cut this off. This is for the version of the plane that I did, which is the cream of the crop. So I'm using my little knife here to get a pilot hole started. And I'm going to switch to a small little drill bit, drill out these holes, and we will put guns in here and sand that down, because we're going to have to, you know, of course, put some green putty in there or whatever. So we're going to put some glue right there. Notice I don't put any on that top part there where that little knob is sticking off, because there's nothing to go there. And you'll see that once we put these wing halves together. Go all the way around this entire plane. Get the little dots in the middle, of course, the little holes, because you know you got to press down the wings and nose. See, just did that. Going all along this edge. Boom, it's done. Put the wing half on, get some clamps. That way we can hold it together just like this. And what are we going to do next? We're going to do the other one. That's right. You know why? Because he needs a little friend. Isn't that great? Yeah, there you go. Just give him a little friend there. Give him some glue. Give him a happy little path. Yeah, that's just great. Look how good that looks. I love it. So, yes, there we go. Putting all the glue on there. Get the little circles, the holes, and of course, where this plane's made. China, Beijing, somewhere. Don't know. Snap that down. Put some rubber bands on this, but be careful, because you don't want to move the insides, which mine kind of moved a little bit. Then you got to sand it. So here we go, showing you what's going to go on soon. Cutting out the little windshield. It's kind of like a prelude. You know how that goes. So we will peel that off, and there, I did it correctly that time. So, by the way, thank you for watching. This is what's coming up next. Putting that together, doing some wheels, scraping some stuff. Thank you for watching. Subscribe so you can see my next video coming out in 2 weeks. Comment and like. Until next time, see ya.